Hey everyone, welcome to this week's video. Today we're going to be trying out another loops and thread crochet kit. We're going to make a hanging sloth lantern. If you're enjoying the video, please give it a like and leave a comment below. Now let's get started. This kit comes with pretty much everything you need. It came with 2 balls of gray polyester yarn or acrylic yarn. It also came with some stuffing here. I got lucky and got 2 crochet hooks, the instructions, a tapestry needle, and a tiny little nose. We also got some black for the details, some white, and some tan or brown yarn. So we get this set up and then we're gonna get started. So now that we're all set up, we're going to get started with the head. We're going to be using the color CA, which is the gray color yarn. Here's the pattern. I'm also going to put it in the description box below. So we're going to go ahead and get started with the head. For round 1, we're going to start with a slip knot. So we're going to grab it, twist it around, grabbing the long working yarn, putting it onto our hook. We're going to do a chain of 4, so we're going to chain 1, chain 2, chain 3, and chain 4. We're going to do a slip stitch into the first chain, so we're going to put it through the first chain, yarn over, pull through, pull all the way through. So now these are attached together, and in the middle of this there's a small opening right here in the middle, right below where this slip stitch was. So not this spot right here, is going to be in this to the center, right below that opening stitch. That kind of looks like it's the circle, but it's not. So we're going to do 8 half double crochets into the middle of this circle that we made. So we're going to yarn over, getting ready, putting it through the middle. So when we're putting it through, we're going to put it through the middle here, pull through, and then yarn over, pull through all 3. And that's 1 half double crochet. We're going to do 7 more half double crochets and I'll meet you guys back. Alright, so we finished our round 1. Here's what it looks like. Your 8 half double crochets that were worked into the middle of the chain 4. So now we're going to chain 1 and then do 2 half double crochets into each stitch all the way around. So again, we'll yarn over, put through this stitch here, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3, yarn over to the same stitch, pull through all 3. And we're going to continue with 2 half double crochets in each stitch all the way around. If you have a hard time keeping track of your stitches, this kit doesn't come with any stitch markers, but you can use this piece of thread here like a scrap piece of yarn, and you can slide it through the first stitch over here. If you put your hook through the first stitch and loop your black yarn, and you can pull it through. That way you don't lose your marker, or if you have any stitch markers laying around, you can use those as well. I'll meet you guys back at the end of round 2. So we finished with round 2. I'm going to go ahead and pull this out, getting ready for round 3. We're going to chain 1, and then in the first stitch we're going to do just 1 half double crochet, and into the next stitch we're going to do 2 half double crochets, creating a half double crochet increase. So 1 and 2. You're going to repeat this of doing 1 half double crochet and 2 half double crochets all the way around. You're going to end on a 2 half double crochet and you'll have 24 stitches at the end. Alright, so we got our round 3. Getting ready for round 4, we're going to do a chain 1. Into the next stitch we're going to do, or into the next 2 stitches, we're going to do a half double crochet. So I'll make sure not to go into this chain 1 space from the previous row. We're going to want to work into the first half double crochet of this round. So we'll go right here, yarn over, pull through all 3. That's 1 half double crochet, 2 half double crochets, and into this 3rd stitch we're going to do 2 half double crochets in the same stitch for an increase. So yarn over, pull through, that's 1, yarn over, pull through, that's 2. So we have 4 stitches. You're going to repeat 2 half double crochets and then an increase of 2 half double crochets in the next stitch all the way around. You're going to end on an increase of 2 half double crochets, and at the end you'll have 32 stitches. So we finish round 4. Here's what we got so far. Round 5, we're going to do a chain 1, and then we're going to do 1 half double crochet in the next 3, and then an increase. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3 half double crochets, and then an increase of 2 half double crochets. So 1 and 2. We're going to repeat this sequence with a half double crochet in the next 3 stitches and then an increase of 2 half double crochets in the 4th stitch. We're going to do this all the way around, ending on an increase of 2 half double crochets. I'll meet you guys back at the end. You'll have 40 stitches at the end of this round. So we finished round 5. We're going to chain 1, getting ready for round 6. Round 6, we're going to do a half double crochet in the next 4 stitches and then an increase. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we're going to do an increase in this 5th stitch. So 2 half double crochets into the 5th stitch. And then we're going to repeat this again. So we're going to do 4 half double crochets, and then in the 5th stitch we're going to do 2 half double crochets. At the end of this round you're going to have 48 stitches, and you're going to end on a 2 half double crochet increase. Alright, so we finished round 6. Getting started with round 7, and this is going to be the same for round 7 through 14. We're going to do 1 half double crochet in each stitch all the way around. You're going to have 48 stitches at the end of each round, remembering to chain 1 in between each round that you do. Also, don't forget to put your stitch marker. It's very easy to get distracted and add an extra stitch here and there. So I'll meet you guys back at the end of round 14. Alright, so I finished my round 14. Here's the head. It's pretty big, to be honest. So I already did my chain 1. And now we're going to do round 15. So round 15 is a half double crochet and 4 stitches and then 2 stitches together. So we're going to yarn over, do it in 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we're going to do a half double crochet decrease. So we're going to yarn over, go into the next stitch, pull through, go into the next stitch, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 4. And that's our half double crochet decrease. So then we're going to keep repeating this of 4 half double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we're going to do the half double crochet decrease again. So yarn over, put in the next stitch, pull through, put in the next stitch, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 4 loops on your hook. You're going to keep repeating 4 half double crochets with 1 decrease all the way around. You're going to end on a decrease, and at the end of this round you're going to have 40 stitches. Alright, so I finished my round 15. We're going to chain 1 and pull it through. They want you to leave about a 8-inch tail to sew the head onto the body later on. So maybe about that much. I'm going to cut this here, pull this through, take out this stitch marker here. There we go. And this is gonna be the head for our sloth. And here's the tail. The tail from the first row we did, I just tucked it in when we were crocheting it through, so I don't have to worry about it. It's also on the inside, really no need to weave it in when you're just gonna fill it with stuffing. So I'll meet you guys back to get started on the next one, which is going to be the body. So we're gonna get started on the body. This is the pattern for the body. It's going to be included in the description box below as well. Let's go ahead and get started. We're going to get our gray yarn. We're going to make a slip knot. And we're going to do a chain 4. So we have our slip knot. We do a chain 1, chain 2, chain 3, 4. Slip stitch into the first chain from your hook. So put through, pull the yarn through, pull all the way through. In the middle here we have a circle. We're going to do a 9 double, or first we're going to do a chain 3, and then we're going to do 9 double crochets into this circle. So we're going to do chain 1, chain 2, chain 3, and into this circle that we made we're going to do 9 double crochets. So yarn over, putting into the circle, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2. That's 1 double crochet. I'm going to do this 8 more times. So here we've done our 9 double crochets, remembering that our chain 3 counts as 1 double crochet, so this is a total of 10 double crochets around. We're going to stitch it together with a slip stitch, just like this, and we're going to chain 3, getting ready for round 2, and we're going to start off with an increase of 2 double crochets in 1 stitch. So we got 1 and 2. We're going to continue with doing 2 double crochets in each stitch all the way around. At the end of this round you're going to have 20 stitches. Alright, we finished with round 2. We're going to finish it off with a slip stitch into the first stitch that we made in this round. All the way through. Start with a chain 3, chain 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to start with a increase in the first stitch and then a double crochet in the next. So we're going to yarn over, place 2 double crochets into this first stitch, so 1 and 2, and then into that next stitch you're going to just do 1 double crochet. And we're going to repeat this all the way around. We're doing 2 double crochets and then 1 double crochet. At the end of this round you're going to have 30 stitches. Alright, so we finished round 3. I already did my slip stitch here at the beginning round. We're going to start round 4 with a chain 3, 2, 3, and we're going to do an increase into the first stitch and then a double crochet in the next 2, and then repeat the sequence again. So we're going to start with an increase of 2 double crochets in the first stitch, 1, 2, and then we're going to do 1 double crochet in the next 2. So yarn over, 1 double crochet and 2. So after this, you're going to repeat 1 increase and then 2 double crochets all the way around. At the end of that round, you're going to have 40 stitches. I'll meet you guys back. So we finished round 4. We're going to do our slip stitch, same as before, into the first stitch of that round. Don't forget your chain 3, getting ready for round 5. And now we're going to do an increase and then a double crochet in 3 stitches. We'll yarn over, 2 double crochets into the first stitch, just like our previous rounds. And then we're going to do 1 double crochet in the next 3. So 1 double crochet, 2, and 3. We're going to repeat the sequence of an increase of 2 double crochets and then 1 double crochet in the next 3 all the way around. At the end of this round, you're going to have 50 stitches. So we finish our round 5. We're going to go ahead and do a slip stitch into the first stitch here and pull it through. We're going to do a chain 3, chain 1, 2, and 3, getting ready for round 6. So for our round 6, we're going to do an increase and then 4 double crochets in the next 4 stitches. So we're going to do yarn over, we'll put 2 double crochets into the first stitch, 1 and 2 double crochets, and then we're going to do 1 double crochet in the next 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going to repeat the same sequence like we have been. You're going to do an increase of 2 double crochets in the next stitch and then 4 double crochets in the next 4. We're going to repeat this all the way around. At the end of this round, you're going to have 60 stitches. So we finish round 6. We're going to do our slip stitch and chain 3. We're going to do an increase of 2 double crochets in the first stitch, 1 and 2, and then in the next 5 stitches we're going to just do 1 double crochet. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Repeat the same sequence of an increase of 2 double crochets and then 1 double crochet in the next 5 all the way around. At the end of this round, you're going to have 70 stitches. So we finish round 7. We're going to do our slip stitch just like before. Chain 3, chain 1, 2, 3, increase into that first stitch. So 2 double crochets here, so that's 1 and 2, and we're going to do 1 double crochet in the next 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Going to repeat the sequence. We're going to do 1 increase of 2 double crochets and then 1 double crochet in the next stitch all the way around. You keep repeating this until the end. You're going to have 80 stitches at the end. So we finished round 8. We're going to do our slip stitch here in the first row. Chain 3. We're going to start with the increase of 2 double crochets in the first stitch. One and 2. And we're going to do 1 double crochet in the next 7 stitches, and you're going to repeat the same sequence all the way around, doing an increase of 2 double crochets and then 1 double crochet in 7 stitches. At the end of this round, you're going to have 90 stitches. So we finish round 9. we're going to do our slip stitch into the first stitch of the round, do a chain 3, 2, 3, and then for rounds 10 and 11 we're not doing any increases or decreases. We're just going to be doing 1 double crochet in each stitch all the way around for rounds 10 and 11. Each end of the round you'll have 90 stitches. If you have a hard time keeping track of your stitches, just place a stitch marker so you don't add or subtract any unnecessary stitches. Alright, so we finished round 9. We're going to do our slip stitch into this first stitch here, do our chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and for rounds 10 and 11 you're just doing 1 double crochet in each stitch all the way around. At the end of each round you're going to have 90 stitches. If you find yourself losing track easily, use a stitch marker to make sure you don't lose track. Meet you guys back at the end of round 11. Alright, so we finished round 11. We're going to do our slip stitch for closing off round 11, chain 3, getting ready for round 12. We're going to do 1 double crochet into the first 3 stitches. So we have 1, 2, 3, and we're going to do a decrease of 2 double crochets. So we have 1, and the next stitch is 2, pull through, yarn over, pull through all, and there's our decrease. Then we're going to do 4 double crochets. So yarn over, we do 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we're going to do a decrease again. So yarn over, put in, pull through, next stitch, put in, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 4. We're going to repeat this sequence of 4 double crochets and 1 decrease all the way around. At the end of this round you're going to have 75 stitches. So we finish round 12. We're going to do our slip stitch into the first stitch of this round, do our chain 3, getting ready for round 13, 2, 3. Now that we have this ready, we're going to do 1 double crochet in each stitch all the way around. At the end of this you're going to have 75 stitches. I'll meet you guys back at the end of round 13. So we finished round 13, getting started with our slip stitch and our chain 3, chain 1, 2, 3, ready for round 14. 14 we're going to start with a double crochet in the first 2 stitches. So we have 1 and 2, and then we're going to do a decrease. So we're going to go into the next available, pull through, next available, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 4, and then we're going to do a double crochet in the next 3 stitches. So 1, 2, and 3, and we're going to do a decrease again. So we yarn over, cut through, pull through, next available stitch, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 4, and that's our next decrease. And we're going to repeat 1 double crochet in the next 3 with a decrease, and we're going to repeat that all the way around until we get to the end. We're going to have 60 stitches at the end of this round. So we're about finished with our round 14. We're going to do our slip stitch into the first stitch here, yarn over, pull through. We're going to do a chain 1 to secure, pull it tight. We're going to leave, they say, about a 12-inch thread for sewing. We're going to do that chain 1 and cut, and that's going to finish the body portion of our Sloth planner. And we're going to get started on our next portion here in a few minutes. This is what mine looks like so far. Definitely would stretch out once you put a plant inside of there. It's quite large. So now we're going to be moving on to the legs. This is the written pattern for the legs. So let's get started on the first one together. We're going to start with a slip knot. After that, we're going to do a chain 3. So we're going to do a chain 1, chain 2, chain 3. We're going to do 6 half double crochets into the third chain from the hook. So we're going to yarn over, put into the third chain from our hook, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now that we did that, we're going to join these 2 stitches, the first one that we did and the last one, together with a slip stitch. Just like this. That's how it looks. Then we're going to get started with round 2. Round 2, we're going to do a chain 1, and we're going to do 2 half double crochets in each stitch. So 1 and 2, and same thing again. 1 and 2. You're going to keep repeating this all the way around, where you're going to do 2 half double crochets in each stitch. At the end of round 2, you're going to have 12 stitches. Alright, so I finished with round 2 of the leg. I have my 12 stitches. I'm going to do my slip stitch into the first stitch of this round. And then we're going to do a chain 1, getting ready for round 3. We're going to do 1 half double crochet in each. So yarn over. We're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to keep doing 1 half double crochet in each stitch all the way around. At the end, you're going to have 12 half double crochets. So we finished round 3. Going to do our slip stitch here. Chain 1, getting ready for round 4. And round 4, we're going to do 5 half double crochets and then an increase. So we're going to yarn over. We do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to do an increase of 2 half double crochets in 1 stitch. So 1 and 2. So that's a total of 7 half double crochets so far. You're going to continue to repeat 5 half double crochets and then an increase of 2 half double crochets into the same stitch all the way around. At the end, you're going to have 14 stitches. Alright, so we finished round 4. I'm going to do our slip stitch into the first stitch of this round, a chain 1, and for round 5, we're going to do 1 half double crochet in each stitch. I got 1, 2, and 3. You're going to continue with 1 half double crochet in each stitch all the way around. You'll have 14 stitches at the end of this round. We'll meet you guys back. So we finish round 5. Do your slip stitch and chain 1. Get ready for round 6. And for round 6, we're going to do 1/2 double crochet in the next 6 stitches and then an increase. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then we're going to do an increase. So we do 1 and 2. We're going to repeat this sequence of 6 half double crochets and then an increase at the end. At the end of this round, you're going to have 16 total stitches. Alright, so we finished round 6. We're going to do our slip stitch and chain 1. We're getting ready for round 7 and 8. Round 7 and 8 are going to be the same. You're doing 1/2 double crochet in each stitch all the way around. So at the ends of round 7 and 8, you'll have 16 stitches total. Remembering at the end of each round to do your slip stitch and your chain 1. I'll meet you guys back at the end of round 8. Alright, so we finished round 7 and 8. I already did my slip stitch with my chain 1. Getting ready for round 9. We're going to start with 7 half double crochets. So we yarn over, do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now we're going to do our increase, 1 and 2. And we're going to repeat this one more time. You're going to do 7 half double crochets and then an increase. Meet you guys back at the end of this round. You'll have 18 stitches. Alright, so we finished round 9. We're going to do our slip stitch here into the first stitch of this round. And we're going to do our chain 1, getting ready for round 10 and 11, which are going to be the same. We're going to do 1/2 double crochet in each stitch all the way around for rounds 10 and 11, remembering to do our slip stitch and chain 1 in between each row. At the end of these 2 rows, you're still going to have 18 stitches. Alright, so we finished rounds 10 and 11. For round 11, we're going to do our slip stitch and chain 1 for round 12. Now we're going to do 1/2 double crochet in the next 8 stitches and then do an increase. So we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to do an increase of 2 half double crochets in 1 stitch. So 1 and 2. We have 10 stitches total so far. We're going to do this one more time. 8 half double crochets and then an increase of 2. At the end of this, you're going to have 20 stitches. Alright, so we finished round 12. I'm going to do our slip stitch with our chain 1, ready for round, it's going to be round 13 through 17. We're just doing 1/2 double crochet in each stitch all the way around. So at the end of each round, you'll have 20 stitches. Make sure to do your slip stitch and your chain 1 in between all your rounds. I'll meet you guys back at the end of round 17. So we finished our round 17. This is what my sloth arm looks like so far. We're still going to do our slip stitch and chain 1. We're going to do a chain 1 and cut this time. Leave a little bit of tail for sewing later on. That's what it looks like here. You're going to make 3 more of these with a total of 4 arms. So I'm going to get started on the face next, and I'll meet you guys back. Getting started with the face patch. We got our white yarn. We did a slip knot. we're going to do a chain 10, chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Into the third chain from our hook, we're going to do 2 half double crochets. So we got 1 and 2. And we're going to do 1 half double crochet in the next 6 stitches. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's what we have so far. So we're going to do 3 half double crochets into this last chain here. So we have 1, 2, and 3. So now, since we were working with the yarn like this, they want us to turn our yarn. We're going to flip it over to the top, and we're going to be working in these loops that were originally on the bottom. Now it's going to be on the top. Not working into that space that we have 3 half double crochets, but starting here in the next stitch. So we yarn over, and we're going to do 6 half double crochets across. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. This brings us over to the 2 half double crochets that we initially started with, and we're going to do a slip stitch into that first half double crochet of that area, just like this. That's the end of our round 1, and at the end of your round 1 you should have 18 stitches. Mine looks like this. So getting ready for round 2, I did a slip stitch into the chain 2 space that we had from the previous row. We have our chain 2, and now we have to do 1 half double crochet into the same stitch, same area that we did our slip stitch. Half double crochet, and then in the next 2 stitches we're going to do 2 half double crochets. So we have 1 and 2, 3 and 4. So we have that. We're going to do 1 half double crochet in the next 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're going to do 2 half double crochets in the next 3 stitches. So we have 1 and 2, 1, 2, and 1 and 2. And now we're going to do 6 half double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the end of round 2. So it's kind of hard to see. This is the chain 2 from our beginning of our round. We're going to do a slip stitch into that first half double crochet that we did of that round, sealing off this round. At the end of round 2 you should have 24 stitches. This is what mine looks like here. We're going to go ahead and get ready for round 3 and do a chain 1, chain 2. We're going to do a half double crochet in the same stitch that we joined it together in. And we're going to do 2 half double crochets in the next 5 stitches. So we're going to do 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So we got 1, 2, 3 so far. We do 1, 2, that's 4, and then 1, 2, that's 5. Doing these extra double stitches is making the curve around the edge of the mouth. And now we're going to do 6 half double crochets. So we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And now we're going to do 2 half double crochets in the next 6 stitches. So we have 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, that's 3, 1, 2, that's 4, 1, 2, and 1, 2. That's 6. And then we're going to do 1 half double crochet in the next 6 stitches. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And to finish off this round, this here is our chain 2. We're going to do our slip stitch right like that. This is what we have for round 3. You're going to have 36 stitches at the end of this round. So getting ready for round 4, chain 2. We're doing 1 half double crochet in each stitch all the way around. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Continue with 1 half double crochet all the way around. Meet you guys back at the end of this round. So we finished with round 4. You're going to have a total of 36 stitches. Do your slip stitch here and your chain 1. We're going to do a chain 1 and cut. Leave a bit of a tail so that you have it enough to sew it on. And this is what we got so far. The next thing we're going to get started on is the mouth. So getting started with the face, we're going to do a chain 4. I'm going to make sure that I'm going to do my chain 4 really tight so that the circle stays really small. So 2, 3, and 4. So very small and tight chains. And we're going to yarn over, and we're going to put 11 double crochets into the 4th chain from our hook. Put through, pull through, and here I'm making sure to keep everything tight. I'll meet you guys back when I have 11 double crochets into this 4th chain. Alright, so making sure that I kept all my 11 double crochets really tight. I have my 11 here. We're going to slip stitch into the first stitch of this round. Pull through, chain 1 to secure. We're going to chain 1 and cut. And this here, this is going to be the mouth of our sloth. Alright, so with our slip knot, getting started with round 1 of the eye patch, we're going to do a chain 8, chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 here, and then we're going to do 3 half double crochets into the 3rd chain from the hook. So we have 1, 2, and 3. So we got 1 half double crochet, 2, and 3 half double crochets. And it looks like this. And then we're going to do 1 half double crochet in the next 4 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Like this. We're going to do 4 half double crochets into the last chain. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to turn our work, working on the top side. So now that we turned it and we're working into these top loops here, we're going to do 4 half double crochets. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Like this. We're going to slip stitch here into this first stitch of this round. It's very similar to how we made the mouth. So now that we did that, we're going to chain 1, leave a little bit of a tail for sewing, and we're going to cut the yarn here. So these are the 2 eye patches that I have. Came out pretty nice. We're gonna go ahead and make the hanging loops. So for the hanging loops, we're just doing a simple chain rope with the white. We're going to do a chain of 36, chain 1, 4, 6, so here we have our chain of 36, chain 1, pull it down to secure. I want you to leave a really long tail for sewing everything together. Go ahead and make another hanging loop just like this one, and I'll meet you guys back. Alright, so we finished up some stuff off camera. I finished making the rest of the legs. I got 4 of them here. I ended up running out of gray yarn in this kit, so I had to use my own gray yarn. It's a little bit different, but you can barely tell. Then I also finished stitching on the face patch with his mouth and his eyes, and did the black stitching detail on his eyes and his muzzle. I used the whole stuffing pack included with the kit to stuff his head. Soon we're going to be attaching the head here. I'm going to show you guys that in a minute. These are the chain hanging ropes that we're going to end up attaching on his feet so that he can hang onto a dowel, or maybe you want to hang him up for decor in the house. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys a time lapse of me stitching his head onto his body. Alright guys, so we finished stitching them together. This is what he looks like so far. Has his little loops so that he can hang, his 4 legs, a nice basket to hold some stuff. Came out pretty good, came out what the box looked like. He's pretty large. Overall not too bad for the crochet kit. Maybe in a future video I would make him a tree branch to hold on to and shape him a little differently, only because I don't have a use for him as a hanging planter, but he came out really cute. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next week.